Hey everybody, I've got a 4 Dragon Egg account to share with you today. This account is at 3.6 billion power. It is on a server somewhere between 500 and 550, a pretty active server that does well in server to server. And the Alliance is the top alliance on the server. They do well in battlefields and so on. And I think you'll agree as we watch the video here, the screen recording I have of this account, that it's in pretty darn good shape and it is very competitive. I think it's definitely one of the top on the server, and it's able to be, even though it's only like third or so in terms of power, I believe it's probably the strongest or one of the strongest based on buffs and achievements and so on. So let's take a look at this. We're going to, first I think we'll go look over at the troops, and we'll take a look at how many troops they are and how they're built up. Go over here to the rally spot, troop details. Okay, so 82.5 million troops. We have about 3 to 4 million of each tier 14, about 2 million of each 13, almost 2 million of each 12, and then we're getting to the layers, a couple million of each, and then it goes down, and you've got some padding, so looks like layers are set to about 1 million of each, which is fine. Yeah, so it's looking pretty good, and with 3.6 billion power in the 500s, you're going to be doing pretty well in battlefields. You'll be very competitive. VIP 18. Okay, so definitely quite a bit of spending has happened on this account already. Let's take a look at the technology power. It's at 66.5 million. There's still a little bit of work, but it is in good shape. Let's take a look at resource production quickly. Well, that's some pretty good resource production. Over 2 million of each resource. Not bad at all. Okay, Monarch gear, we're looking over here. It's a mix of 8s and 9s, so that kind of tells me that even those 8s are probably on the cusp of turning into 9s. That's a lot of fame points. Over 2,000 fame points. I think that's more than me. I don't have a lot of fame points, but that's more than me for sure. What else are we going to look at? Let's take a look at the rankings. So I said this player, I believe, is number 3. Yep, number 3. So there's a player around 5 billion, another close to 4, and this player's at 3.6. So near the top. In terms of rank, this player is number 2nd currently in rank, which means that they have all of their subordinate cities unlocked and they can have the maximum amount. General ranking, I count 1, 2, 3 generals in the top 10. So on this server alone, 3 generals in the top 10. That's pretty good. What else should we look at here? Let's go back to ranking. I think we could look at the alliance too. I just want to see how it is. So this alliance is 50 billion power. They make up the majority of the server. So all the big players are in here. There's a couple other smaller alliances, but they're not competitive. This is the big alliance, which is nice to see too, because it means that if all the big players of one alliance are together, they're going to be more successful in Battlefield rather than if they're split apart. So they have their main subordinate city as gold, and then there are 3 gold Japans, 2 gold Russias, and then 3 purple Japans. That's a very solid setup in terms of subordinate cities. All right. What are we going to look at next? Let's look at just the buildings overall. So it's a keep 38. Looks like most of the buildings are in transition. You got your rally spot at 38, of course. Holy Palace is at 37. The in-city tiles are, I mean, it's good production, so they are doing pretty good as they are. They could go up a little bit, but it's more likely that there would be potential for alts on the server. Triumphal Arch is at 5 already. That's pretty good. I think I saw the Military Academy was at 3. Victory Column is at 3. And it has Wonder 3. So it's unlocked Nidhogg, the dragon, from qualifications in battlefields. So that gives you 1 extra dragon. And this player did mention that they are the only person on their server to have unlocked Wonder 3. So you do have an advantage. You are definitely the top dog in terms of dragons there. And as we'll see later, I'm pretty sure they have Ameterasu, the All-Stars dragon as well. We can take a look at the civilization equipment. So all plant nuggets. We've got a few pieces of the Freedom Hero set. We have 4 pieces of the Furenkazan. 1, 2, 3 Han Dynasty. Almost the complete set of Koryo, just missing the legs. And 1, 2, 3 Rurik. And lastly, the Abbas. 2 pieces there. So a pretty good mix overall. There's a lot you could do with that equipment. What do we want to check out now? Generals. We can just take a look through the general list. I'll scroll down here. We'll take a look at what there are, and we'll try to figure out what their main generals are. I do see a lot of duty officers that are pretty well built up and even cultivated. And I mean, that makes it so that they can end up being supers. I think this player did say that they have every duty officer in a super position, which is awesome. That's really, really beneficial to have all supers. Okay, so going down, you can see there's a lot of variety in terms of generals. William Marshall is the current main defense general. Specialty is all built up. He's at 7.3 million power. And almost the complete set of Koryo, which is the defensive civilization set. The refines look really good. Those are really solid refines. Yes. Oh, that looks really good. That is a pretty good defensive setup. Obviously, you wouldn't normally have Shajar as your assistant, but that's, you know, for production outside. I'm not sure who they would put as their assistant here, but there's a lot of choices to play around with. The subordinate city mayors, there's a big mix there, a lot of different high-quality subordinate city generals, and I do believe that they are probably fully debuffing anyone that hits them. You know, so that's pretty solid. You got some nice military generals too. Look at that Leo the Third. That'd be a good assistant general. I think that's the plan there. He's not fully cultivated, which doesn't matter, but the specialty is being worked on. So that's probably why. Harold the Third. Okay. Got a Philip and Martinez. Haven't yet seen any of their actual generals that they are using. Yeah, Martinez doesn't have gear equipped. So what, is he a assistant? I don't know. Got Simeon here that's fully specialized. Maybe that's, no, probably used to be the general that this player was using, and then he got swapped to something else. We got Philip II here. So it's looking like this player might be a rally leader too, like built up to be a rally leader. That's awesome. That's a lot of fun, to being able to be in that position where you can call attacks and people rally into you. That's awesome. Hannibal's set up pretty well. We have Elise that is set up with 4 pieces of Furenkazan. Yep. She's looking really good, and she's partially ascended as well. I think I saw a red star. Yeah, she is partially ascended. You got Tamira, see? Yeah, definitely a rally setter too. If they've got Tommy set up and Philip. I don't know why I said Phyllis. Yeah, so you could potentially be a rally setter. You got your victory column up at 5. Yeah, that would be fun. Cool stuff. Okay, good. Generals look really great. Let's look at the items. I didn't see a whole lot of resources or gems. There was a ton of gold, but The resources or gems didn't seem like they were very high, and it doesn't look like there's a lot of gems in here either. A lot of stamina, over 10,000 stamina. Man, I wish I had that. Lots of food, several billion food. Not much of the other resources though, which lets me know that this player is actively playing. Like there are some players that just have an excess of resources as they go through their accounts, and it just means that they don't know what to do with it. This player is working at it. This player is actually actively growing. Lots of research stones, so you can work on that missing tech power if that's not finished off. Yeah, even the refining stones. I think I saw like 20 refining stones. So that means this player is actively working every day to improve. Okay, the dragons here, we got the first dragon at 40, 40, and 1. Okay. How about Fafnir? 22 and 30. Okay, seems good so far. Over at the Dragon Cliff, we can look at the Sacred Dragons. 22, 6, and 7. And then we have 40 and 40 on the Dragon of Thebes. Then we have Nidhogg over here with 40, 40. 40's max, if you don't know. Does not have Ladon. Does have Ameterasu, the All-Star Dragon. That's a pretty big deal. It's a really great ground dragon. Yes. And honestly, that's probably one of the coolest dragons too. Just looks so cool. Okay, dragon's done. So if this player has gotten the Ameterasu from All-Stars, they might have a castle as well. I can already see it equipped. So let's go over. It's the Florence Castle. Own to activate enemy troop HP minus 5%. Cool. And use to activate range troop and siege machine HP by 30%. And another one of siege machine and range troop attack by 15%. That's some nice bonuses, for sure. Oh, I said victory column at 5. I meant triumphal arch. Ugh. Wow, military academy. They're working on some of the... I saw that kind of flash earlier that somebody helped on discipline 1. That's one of the less important ones, but I can kind of see why. They're at keep 38 and they're kind of maxed out on their what they can do. Their military academy 4 has not been built yet, so they're kind of running out of things to do. They've gotten all the important military academy technology done. You can already see like it's 2025, 2025, like it's all maxed out except for some of the ones on the left, which are not generally important. So that is, yeah, that's pretty well built up. Wow. And then I saw like in the inventory still like 30,000, or I don't know if it's 30,000, but something like that of tactic scrolls. Tons and tons of tactic scrolls. All right, Triumphal Arch. So you can see some of the numbers that they pull out in the Constantinople and Guatemala. So they're doing really well. And 89th in the All-Star Battlefield, and this is a really competitive continent, so to be able to pull off 89 is really, really good. You just take a look at the battle log so we can see like the win-loss rate. So you can really see that the alliance, which is the #1 alliance on the server, is, you know, they're winning, they're losing. So it's slightly over 50% is what you see on the screens for both Constantinople and Guatemala. So it's not like it's a dead server, not like it's a dead alliance. It's active and it is doing pretty well. So you would, if you were the owner of this account, you would be in a critical position in an awesome alliance, and you'd be set up to have quite a bit of fun. What else can we look at here? I think I'm just scrolling around. Not much else to talk to. I'll just mention a few notes that the player themselves left. just for additional details that some people might not know. So it is the only Wonder 3 on the server. It is the only All-Stars castle on the server. It is the only person that has an All-Star Dragon on the server. So this player is quite a bit farther than everybody else on the server. They have quite a bit of Arch of Triumph records that are higher than everybody else. In terms of buffs, they said that in Battlefield, their Archer and Cavalry are around the 1600s, and their ground around the 1500s, which is very, very respectable. All duty officers are at the super level, and currently ranked #1 in fame. I've already talked about subordinate cities, but also the subordinate city generals, just the quality of their gear, and all their they're those really nice subordinate city generals, and this player has been able to fully debuff enemies that do attack, which is pretty hard to do. So those are some really high debuffs. That's about it for this video. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching this video and supporting the channel. If you liked what you saw, please consider hitting the like button and checking out other videos on the Miser's Guide to Evony. I'll see you in the next video.